Welcome back to the Professor's Lab. I'm Professor V, and this is round 3 of the League Cup that happened at Die Hard Games on November 4th, 2023. If you didn't know, Die Hard League happens every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games, featuring casual and tournament play of whatever format anyone wants, really. More info in the description. League Challenge, Thursday, November 16th at 6 p.m. Central at Die Hard Games. And check out Pokemon's event locator for more premier events at Die Hard Games, such as League Challenges, League Cups, and pre-releases. Please hit that like button right quick, subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications, say what you need to say in the comments, and all that other good stuff. But anyways, let's get into this Lost Zone mirror match. We see the fist bump there on the right, starting things off with Spiritomb, on the left Cramorant, and a Nest Ball. Nest Ball is going to search the deck for a basic Pokemon and put it onto the bench. That Comfey being found there. And our player is going to take some time to use the first deck search to see what cards are in the deck, see what cards might be prized, see what's available, and better formulate their game plan. Definitely a known and common thing that players can do and most likely should do to up their game. That Nest Ball was not a VIP pass, so I wonder what else is in hand. Comfey could move into the active spot, use flower selecting, and find a battle VIP pass. But just depends. Excuse me. Just depends what's in hand. Energy being attached to the Cramorant manually retreats into the Comfey. Comfey uses flower selecting to take a look at the top 2 cards, and they put one card in their hand and the other in the Lost Zone. I'm guessing there's no Battle VIP pass here, as that probably would have been grabbed immediately. We're going to see Echoing Horn hit the Lost Zone, and second Comfey being found off of that, so that's pretty good. Or unless it was in hand. Either way, Nest Ball being played to search the deck for a basic Pokemon, that Radiant Greninja being found and put onto the bench, and just passes things over to our other Lost Zone player, who immediately slams down that Battle VIP pass. That's the item card that you can only play on your first turn. When you do, search your deck for 2 basic Pokemon and put them onto your bench. So it just depends on what's in hand, but most likely double Comfey will be found. Our player on the right here is now taking a look through the deck, seeing what resources are available, seeing what might be prized, so that way they can better inform their game plan. Earlier we saw some energy being put to the front of the deck just to do some counts on those cards. Now we're seeing the same being done with Pokemon, just another way prize cards can be determined here in the Pokemon trading card game. Battle VIP Pass is finally going to find Radiant Greninja and the most beautiful Comfey. So potentially have another Comfey or a way to find it in hand already. These Lost Zone decks usually like to have, or most of the time like to have, at least double Comfey down for the Lost Engine. Radiant Greninja is going to use its Concealed Cards ability to discard an energy card and draw 2 cards. Escape Rope being played. The opponent promotes a new active first, and then you do the same. Radiant Greninja coming up and Comfey coming up. Comfey using its flower selecting, looking at the top 2, sending Path to the Peak to the Lost Zone, and keeping that Mirage Gate. Raikou V being put down there. Forest Seal Stone being attached to it, and Forest Seal Stone V-Star Power Ability Star Alchemy being activated there to search the deck for a card, anything that's needed, and being put into the hand. I imagine a Course Experiment is found off of that. Could be a Battle VIP pass, but Chorus is probably always better in this case. Yeah, it looks like that chorus was found off of the Forest Seal Stone. So now the chorus experiment is played to take a look at the top 5 cards of the deck, keep 3 of them, and send 2 to the Lost Zone. So which 2 cards are least important here? Which 2 cards can we afford to not play with for the rest of this game? What our player has to decide here. Looks like a Mirage Gate and Lost Vacuum are sent to the Lost Zone. 3 cards in the Lost Zone now. Another Battle VIP pass being played here to search the deck for 2 more basic Pokemon and fill up that bench. Second Comfey and Manaphy potentially, but no, just going for the one Pokemon, 1 Comfey for second flower selecting this turn. We're getting close to that 4 count in the Lost Zone, so Cramorant can attack for free. Escape Rope being played, the opponent promotes a new active Pokemon first. This Pokemon's most likely, or this Pokemon can get KO'd by a Cramorant, so it's kind of a tough choice. Comfey coming into the active spot on the right here, using the second flower selecting to send a Nest Ball into the Lost Zone, keeping that other card in the hand there. So now we need Cramorant and Switch card. There's a Cramorant, and I see the Switch card in hand. Lightning Energy being attached to that Raikou V there. Switch card being played to switch into the Cramorant, and Cramorant attacks for free thanks to its Lost Provisions ability because there are 4 or more cards in the Lost Zone. Spit Innocently for 110, taking the KO on that opposing Comfey. On the left, Chorus Experiment is fired off first. The easiest Chorus Experiment decision ever, sending 2 useless Battle VIP pass to the Lost Zone, keeping those other 3 cards there. Flower Selecting being activated here by that active Comfey. Gonna send 1 card to the Lost Zone, the worst one, and then keep the best one in the hand. Pretty interesting choice we have here as the hand's being evaluated. A Lost Vacuum hitting the Lost Zone. Was it the Chorus Experiment that was kept instead? Either way, Artisan being put into play. Artisan lets you search your deck for a non-rule box Pokemon, basic Pokemon, and add it to the bench. So another Comfey being found from the deck there with the Artisan being put onto the bench. And we are most likely going to see a second flower selecting here. I don't see any energy or switch cards in the hand. Okay, maybe there was a switch card there. So yep, we do have a second flower selecting. Who bumped the camera here? Come on, guys. Alright, so switch card into the second Comfey for another flower selecting. We're debating it and we are executing it. Second flower selecting coming down here. Taking a look at the top 2. Which one to keep, which one to send to the Lost Zone. Dragonite sent to the Lost Zone. That other card must have been very important. Now, do we have a way to retreat into the Cramorant? No, we don't. That could have took the KO on the opposing Cramorant, but potential big miss here as the player on the right uses a concealed cards to draw a couple cards to start their turn off. Chorus Experiment being played. Let's look at the top 5 and send 2/5 of the experiment to the Lost Zone. Battle VIP pass and Hisuian Heavy Ball hitting the Lost Zone there. Either way, we have the KO on the opposing Comfey with the Cramorant here. So our player just needs to figure out how to best set themselves up for the next turn. Switch cart being used to switch into the Comfey. Flower Selecting being activated to continue to build up that Lost Zone. Escape Rope hitting the Lost Zone. And Mirage Gate is online now. As long as there are 7 or more cards in the Lost Zone, you can search your deck for 2 different basic energy and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. Uh-oh. Water energy and psychic energy being attached to the bench Greninja here. On the left side, I see no Manaphy. Water energy being attached to that Radiant Greninja. So its Moonlight Shuriken is online. Escape Rope being played to move the Radiant Greninja in the active spot. It doesn't matter what the opposing Lost Zone player puts into the active. Either way, Radiant Greninja is going to do 90 damage to 2 Pokemon on their side of the field. I'm sure they would pick Comfey number 1, Comfey number 2, completely removing the Lost Zone engine. Our Lost Zone player on the left is like, yep, that pretty much just shuts me down, so I concede you got this game. Good game. What you think of this video in the commentary? Please let me know in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time in the Professor's Lab.